Okay, so let's continue. So now I got my internet back properly. So let's check on what our result. So if we click on this, we will find that actually before I stop, we had an error. Okay. And it's a line number 36. So let's get back here. User.id. Okay. So basically here I need to access the user, but this user here, as I said, it outside the scope of the function. So I have to grab the user, just like what I did here. So I missed that one line when I do the copy. Okay. So now that we have the user, everything should be all right actually. Let me check. Um, Get profiles. Did I save? It's number. No, it changed the line. Now it changed the line. Let me see. Form data. Submit that form. So let me check this code a little bit. So we use server. We do form data. Name, phone, and address. And then we go to cookies. So get the cookie, create the client, then I get the user. I pretty should check the user here, but that's weird though. If there's no user, we pretty should not be able to come here, but let's just check. No user, return, redirect to login. So if there's no error, it won't be able to go down. Okay, and then we're going to try to update the information. We're going to try to update the information from the user. So here we're going to always superbit from patron PATR. And let me check the spelling. And we're going to update name, phone, and address. Where user ID equal user ID. It still doesn't like my. So let me see. Cannot read property of now. It's trying to read message. Oh, this should be update error, not patron error. So I guess that might be it. I just used the wrong name. Okay, so now yeah, I missed 2 points. So I forgot to pull the user. That's one reason. And I used the wrong variable name right here. That's another reason that we get the error. Okay. So now that we fixed all the errors, so let's try updating the information. So test student. Okay. And I'm going to use that as a phone number. CSI. Let's say Shainat, Thailand. Let's say update profile. Okay, it say my profile is updated successfully. So if I click on this, okay, so now it's updated properly. Okay, so if you follow along, you should get the same information, except let me show you again. Make if you have an error saying something like low level security, does you break this policy or you break low level securities, um, make sure that you have all the policy implement in places. So basically for the policy, it need to be on the patron table. You can do the strict one like I did, that we're going to check that auth.uid equal to user ID of this table, or you can just say true. I'm fine with that. But you have to make sure that it allowed only for authenticated, and make sure that you have it for insert, update, and select to authenticated. And you would notice that here I don't even allow the access to anonymous. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, this look pretty bland, right? So let's put an image to it. So this next I'm going to show you how to use the private bucket. So if you remember in the other example, I used the bucket, but it is the public bucket. Actually, yeah, fine. I was thinking of I should go to the next video, but then this video going to be so short. So let's just continue. So here let's just go to storage. So what you're going to do is you're going to create I already have this prof image. So let me show you how you create this bucket. So you're going to do create bucket, just name it. And remember last time we do this, we made it a public bucket. So this time let's keep it this way. Okay, and then just name it and press create. This is what you get. Okay. Um, to now that this is a private, so you will not be able to use this bucket unless you give a proper policy to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new policy that allow the authenticated person to select, update, and insert into the bucket. Okay, so actually the correct one here is right here. So you're going to make sure that you're going to target the row authenticated and the bucket ID equal to book image, um, and it's a text. So actually the way to create the policy is that I think I probably do this twice, so that why I get a duplicate of insert and update. So this time I'm going to make sure that not to press save. So basically, when to create a policy, once you create a bucket, you're going to click on create policy and click on for full customization here, and just give it a policy name like authenticate can do, and then you can select insert update. Okay, and then make sure that you select authenticated here, and then click on review. So this is going to show you here all this policy that it's going to create it for you. So this is actually what we want. So yeah, don't you cannot modify the name. So let's just keep it that way. So here going to allow the select, insert, and then there's other update and other update as well. So just press on save policy, and then you're going to get the policy that you need. Okay, make sure that you have insert, update, and select. If you miss either one of them, you won't be able to work with this bucket, because you need to be able to view the files. You need able to be able to insert the file, and just in case that the user need to update their user profile. So we're going to do it that way. And the next thing you're going to do is head back to the profile table, and you're going to add this column in. So I'm going to name it avatar underscore URL. And this is going to be just a text. Okay. Basically, my scheme is that when the user add their data, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have the user um, use the user ID and dot the same file name, dot the same file type. So I will use that as the name of the user. Okay. So now let's go back to the profile page and create the front end to show and to select the file, and then we update the code to update the files. Okay. So to get the file, so because this is the private bucket, so the link that we get from the file actually going to be not available all the time. So you notice that I only keep the file name, not the full path, not the full URL. This is because the URL that we get from the private bucket going to be available for a specific time. So we're going to ask for it every time we reach the page. Okay, so let's work on it. So here after we get here, so we select everything from patron table. So if you add the column properly, you will get avatar URL as well. Okay, so once you select that, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the image up download so that we can get the path. So we're going to do let URL. Okay, and then we're going to check if this is going to be my column name, avatar underscore URL. Okay, so basically you notice that some of the columns now. This is especially true when we just add the user. So if it's now, we're going to let the URL become just empty string. If it's not, then we're going to get that image from the storage. And this is where you put in your bucket name. Okay, and we're going to use this called create sign URL. So this is going to give us the URL that available for a specific time. Oops. So I'm going to make this available for 1 hour, so 60 minutes. Okay. So if we can get that data pool properly, we're going to assign that sign URL to our URL variable. If there's an error, so let's log that just to see if there's no image or we actually cannot like there's actually no data, or if there's an error and we cannot download the image. Downloading the image, and then error dot message. Okay, so there. So we probably need somewhere to show our information. So let's put it all the way up top. Div. Let's make it another div for it. So flex item center, because I'm going to have a button for upload the file next to it. Space X for MB6. Okay, and then I'm going to put the img right here. It can be URL or I'm just going to put some image inside the public, just so that when there's no image, it's still showing something. Okay. Actually, this should be outside. Sorry. Money. Should not put the A. This should be here, and I should not leave that quote. Okay. So the alternate, that's for when we cannot load up the image. And then class name. Let's go on to another line. So I'm going to fix the size so that this not showing up really big. Okay, I'm going to make it into a circle. Okay, there. So that's going to show the image, and then I'm going to have another div just to put the label HTML4. So that's going to be our input for the image file. I'm not showing the image after we upload them though. I'm just showing the file names. Let me put in all these CSS. Okay. And this is going to say new profile pictures, and let's add the file input. So this is going to be input type equal file. So that's going to allow us to select the file, and it's going to keep the file and do the uploading the file for us. Well, actually, I cannot see uploading the file. It just read the file data for us. var tar, okay. Except equal, I want image file, and the class name should be T1 block text sm text gray 500 file py-2 5 mr-4 So margin and padding, I need to be loaded full. This is going to take really long. File route is full, border 0, tag SM, file, text SM, file, font, semi bold, BC, DDCT, orange, take white, hover of the file, BC, DDCT. Okay, that should be it. So let's see how is this right now. Okay, so if there's a profile picture, it should show up here. So let's actually try logging out and see somebody else's that already have the image. Okay, so yeah, just upload this as a test. So it will show up here. I just set it up as a circle. So you can change that. But this show that we can download the file from the private bucket properly. So if you don't have the image in the folder like what I did, um, so you probably have to try to up you probably cannot test it at this point, or what you can try to do is to go to the bucket itself, so prop image, and try upload file with the UUID as a name, and dot whatever you want, and just give the name here and put it back into the patron table. So just update the value yourself. Okay, if you just want to test at this point. If not, you can wait and see until at the end. So now this is a step for showing up the image. Okay. So at this point, now we can do the image saving as well. So here, when do we update profile? But you just notice one thing. So when we go to update, we actually going to use the UUID. So, oops. Let's go back a little bit. So here is where we're going to make change to our code. So let me show you how it will look like when you update the file. So like when you click on this, this is a file input. So if you go to, I don't have many image on my, let me see what else do I have. Not a good one. That one may be all right. So if you say open, the file actually information will be loaded here. It's not replace it at this time. Okay, we're going to replace the information once we press the update profile. Okay, so here let's go back to update profile. So what we need is that we're going to need the avatar URL. So what we're going to do here is that So I'm not sure if this yeah, I'm not sure why I did that. So we're going to have this, oh, because once we upload this, the value for this avatar going to be the new value that we keep. So actually one thing you can do is to have like a hidden to kept the previous link. Okay. But here I'm just going to go a very roundabout way to get the previous avatar. Okay, so let me see. So at the update profile here, so before I do the update, I'm actually going to do a selection from the profile to get the existing pattern first. TRN. Okay, so this is going to be a width. So base dot from, again we're going to do from patron. Okay, we're going to select star dot eq. So we're going to select only this particular user and see if it exists, because we just need his URL information. Okay, so if there's no existing information, or we cannot get him, which actually should not happen, but I'm just going to test anyway. If that happen, we're just going to redirect to the error page and just say that pattern not found, which should not be possible. Okay, so if we find that pattern, so we're going to let avatar underscore URL equal to existing pattern dot avatar AVAR TAR underscore URL. Um, wait, it doesn't like what I'm doing here. Oh, I forget one thing. Um, I need to do dot single. Because if I don't do this, it's going to return as an array. Now that I expect only one object, I can just say single and it won't be an array anymore. It will become an object. Okay, so now that we have the URL, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the file to the bucket first. And then later on, we can get that URL to put it into the database. Okay, so let's do this. So let's say that we're going to check that if we have the avatar file or not. So that we're going to have to load it from the from data. Okay, so now that we have this file, if the user did select it, it's probably not existing. Okay, so if it doesn't exist, we will not upload the file. But if it exists, we upload it. So file dot site. It may exist, but there might be multiple files for some reason. So um, or it might exist, but the size is less than zero, which means no file anyway. So we're going to do this only if the user select the file. So we're going to create our scheme for file name. So that will equal to our avatar file dot name, and then we're just going to get the extension. So we're going to split at the dot and going to pop if we can, and we're going to get to lowercase. Okay. So basically we just don't need the first part. We just going to get to the last part of the file name. And also if we don't have that, we set it to the empty string. Okay. Then file path going to be equal to user ID. So underscore dollar sign user.id, and then we're going to concatenate with dot and then add the extension. So this is our finance scheme. The user ID dot whatever extension of the original file. Then we upload it. So we're going to wait storage dot oops dot from, and again we're going to use the same storage as before, which is prof image. Okay, so this time though we're going to upload it. So we're going to do dot upload. Upload what? Upload file part. So that's the part that we want it to go to, and we're going to put the file that we read from the from data. Okay, and if the part already exists, if this is not the first time that the user update their image, we're going to say that please update it for us. So that is absurd true. So this just to tell Superbase that if the files already exist, please update it. That's why I asked you to create the policy on all both select, insert, and update. Okay. So once we finish that, we're going to check that if upload error, we're just going to return redirect to the error. And we're going to say that image fail, and with this error message, no upload error dot message. Okay, so if it's all right, then we're going to set the avatar URL to the new file path. Okay. Actually, okay. So if it exists, it exists. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay. So now that we do that, we're going to keep. Actually, I should just do the lock here, I think. Oh well. Let's just redirect. I'm actually torn between just doing the lock here because if I already redirect, the information wouldn't be updated into the table. But if we cannot, if there's an error uploading the image, you probably want to know and don't want to update the rest of the data anyway. So let's just keep it this way. So here we're going to add um, the avatar URL in here. Okay, so name, phone address, and avatar URL. So that's what we're going to add into the database. So let's see how it's going here. So let's update this with I have too many mudeng. So let's use this. And I won't update other profile. I won't update other information. So let's get back. There's some error here. It actually didn't show me the error. Okay. It did not show me the error, but it not give me the new information as well. Let me check into our profile, our storage. Actually, yeah, it's not updated. So, oh, I did shoot the file, right? Okay, let's do open. Okay, so there's a screenshot. I think I think no, shouldn't be the file name because I have weirder file name. I have weirder file name. So the rest should be alright. Let's say update. It didn't update, and it didn't show the error as well. Let me see why. Let me check a little bit. It didn't show upload error as well. So this might be a little weird because if there's an error, actually expect it to see the error message and got kicked. I expect to got kicked out. So actually let me log out. Yep, I'll log in and do test2. Log in. Okay. Let me do this. Because I just actually file IDs avatar. I forget the name. I forget the name. So I need name as well. Okay, I think before it just skip this because there's no avatar 5 that I can grab. So let's try it again. Okay, there's no avatar URL column. So actually this is better. So it start uploading file. So let me check my column name. AVAR TAR. Oh, no R. I make a typo here. So I'm going to have to stick to it. So no avatar. AVAR. No, AVA. 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 Okay, that's what I need. Let's try again. So let's go back to profile. And do the open again. And then do the update. The reason the file show up before is because if you remember, I just used this scheme to upload the file with the UUID. So I successfully upload the user ID in there. And then I just failed to upload the file name into the database. But it already has the database, in the database it already have the previous file name. So that's why you can see the update. So here, okay, now we can update it back to the same file. So let's log him out and try with our new user that doesn't have the name, that doesn't have any image yet. So hopefully it's not showing up. Okay, so this actually should show the no asset. So let's see. So actually I should add this file just so that it will show the information. So let me do this. So I want to create a file. So I want to create a file that pictures. Okay, let me do this one. I'm going to do this as no, I think the name that I use is called no IMG, I think. I'm just looking at the code. So somewhere around here. So yeah, I need the name called no IMG dot PMG. No IMG. Okay, and I'm going to put this right here inside the asset. Oops, I don't want it here. I need this guy to be in asset. So basically where we keep all our image. So it should be right here. Yes. Okay. So now let's move him here. Let's do a refresh. Yeah. So because I just want the temporary image to be show up if the user doesn't have any image. So let's choose one of the modem. Okay. Pretty not good because we already have modem. I don't have other image here. I guess he should not have a book name image. Okay. Let's just use this as a image again and update the profile for this test student. Okay, so when you come back, yes. Um, so it worked for the new student as well. Okay. So now this is example of how you will use the bucket for the image. And this is a private bucket. If so, in the next video, I'm going to add another page so that we can have a special role for librarian. So we can check for like special roles if you want to check. Um, in my scheme, it's going to be a little bit complicated because I actually have a split table. So yeah, and I'm going to use like an ad hoc method to do that, not using the roles um, on the super base authentication. Okay. Um, yeah, and then on that page, we're going to do the ad book information. It's going to be a little bit longer, and also there you can see how we can use the public bucket, and also how we can do like a multiple update together. Actually, for the bucket, the to upload into the private and public bucket, we use the same code. So basically, here you should be fine. So where's my ph.tsx? So to upload, this code is fine. You can use the same one. Okay. For the public bucket, when you get the URL, actually thing will be much easier. So you can just get public URL and save the public URL into the database. So that you don't have to get the site URL every single time. So like if you just want to show the database, you just show the URL that you store inside the field, just like what I did with the back cover. Okay. So that will be much easier. So let's see that in the next video. Okay, see you guys. Bye.